Hello and welcome again to our third session in this training course, NTTP. And today we'll deal with the part of pronunciation. As for today's agenda, it will be about identify features of connected speech, describe techniques to raise learners' awareness of aspects of pronunciation, how to get the students to know what are the features and aspects of pronunciation, evaluate a range of pronunciation activities, integrate pronunciation activities with other aspects of language learning in our own classrooms. And before we start, what's your impression about teaching pronunciation in your own classrooms? Have you ever tried to teach any feature of pronunciation before?
Yes,
Okay, Miss.
I'm Miss Nagla.
Miss Nagla, okay, go on. Tell us your experience about this.
For the new curriculum for Prep 3 and Prep 4 Connect, we have lessons to describe, for example, long vowels, short vowels, diphthongs, and other features of pronunciation.
Okay, really
So
nice.
we expose to it.
Yes. And do you think they are beneficial?
Sure.
Does it
Because
make...
I think the new curriculum aims first to improve students' fluency.
Yes, sure.
And this must, this urges everyone to teach them pronunciation and how to pronounce words correctly.
And did you feel or notice any difference in your students' pronunciation or fluency based on those activities?
How? Not all of them, but some of them become better.
Okay, nice, nice. Okay. So, what phrases do you usually use when you want to make sure of the pronunciation of different words in your own classes? If you want to make sure that the students can say the word correctly, what are the phrases do you use?
There are so many phrases we can use.
Mister?
Muhammad.
Okay, go on, Mister.
For example, we can say repeat after me.
Yes, nice.
We can say listen and say or listen and repeat.
Yes, well done.
We can say what is the sound did you hear?
Nice.
Yes. We can say what are the words that you heard in this passage. When you heard a song or a phrase.
Well done. Super.
Like that.
Okay, now we're gonna listen together to some of the phrases that teachers can use in class, and mostly Mr. Muhammad covered them. Thank you.
Where's the stress in one?
I'm sorry, can you
Where's
hear?
the stress in this word?
Can you hear the
Two.
track or not?
How many syllables are there in this word?
Can you hear it? Or shall I raise the voice?
It's clear.
Okay.
1. Where's the stress in this word? 2. How many syllables are there in this word? 3. How do you pronounce this word? 4. Is this question rising or falling? 5. What's this sound? 6. Listen and repeat. 7. Repeat after me. 8. How many words can you hear? 9. What happens to this sound when you use the contracted form? 10. Are these sounds the same or different? Is this a vowel or a consonant? 12. Which is the most common sound in English? The schwa.
Okay. Now I'm gonna move to some terminologies that we need to be aware of. And if you want to develop your speaking skills, pronunciation is a very important aspect in that regard. We're going to have a matching activity. We have here the definition, and we need to match the definition with the terminology. The first statement says, is the most common sound in English. It's a weak and unstressed sound that occurs in many words. Learners often have great difficulty reproducing this sound. What is it?
Schwa.
Schwa.
Yes, well done. And unfortunately, learners find it difficult to reproduce this sound, especially in Arabic, because it doesn't exist in Arabic.
I bought my computer.
Yes, we have here an example we're going to listen to.
I bought my computer in America last month.
Okay, where is Ashwa here?
I bought my computer in America last month.
Can you guess?
I bought my computer in America last month.
I think it can be
America.
At the last of the end of computer.
Some Arabic speakers may stress on every word, which doesn't exist in English. We link it, the two words.
I'll tell you when it's finished.
Sorry, we link the two words together. As for the second definition, refer to words that are shortened when spoken, like it's, and the main word is it is, I'll, I will.
This is
Contraction.
I bought my computer in America last month.
Yes, this is contraction. And we have here an example.
I'll tell you when it's finished.
Yes, what is a contraction here?
I'll.
Yes, well done. Not only your learners need to know, but you yourself need to say it in the right way, because you're a model here, and your students will mirror what you're telling them or what you're introducing to them. The next terminology are syllable sounds that become unstressed in connected speech and are often then pronounced as a schwa. For example, in the sentence, what do you want to do this evening? Do you? And the second is strong. As for this one, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? We have weakened the first part, do, which is a helping verb, but we stressed on what do you want to do, right? When we stressed on the next do, because it's the main verb here, so we stress on it. And this is called, what do you? This is
I'll
called,
tell you when it's finished.
Weak form.
yes. And the example here is,
What do you want to do this evening? What do you want to do this evening?
the next set is about which sounds you emphasize in individual words and longer chunks or sentences. For example, in the word banana, it's on the second syllable, while in the word orange, it's in the first syllable. In sentences, we usually stress the most important or the content words.
Stress.
Yes,
stress.
well done. And again, this,
Would you like an orange or a banana?
as you heard in the example, orange, banana. The stress in orange is on the first syllable, while in banana on the second one. Yes, but please put in mind the word content words, which is the main or the most important piece of information in the sentence. Okay, next is about how you use a combination of stressed and unstressed words in sentences. Sentences have strong beats, or the stressed words, and weak beats, the unstressed words. This is
Rhythm.
yes.
Rhythm.
Intonation. Intonation.
No.
Rhythm.
This is
Rhythm.
the
Rhythm.
rhythm.
Right.
Yes.
Rhythm.
Rhythm is about the music, the internal music within the word or the sentence. Let's listen to the example.
It's you, and then it's me, and then it's him, and then it's her.
As you can see here, it's me and her. This is a rhythm. Okay. Next is the way the pitch of a speaker's voice goes up and down as they speak. You use this,
Intonation.
yes, to help you make the message clear.
It's you, and then it's me, and then it's him, and then it's her.
Yes, well done. This is the intonation. And the example
You're from
here
New
is,
York, aren't you? You're from New York, aren't you?
Can you feel the difference, or can you notice the difference? Please listen again.
You're from New York, aren't you? You're from New York, aren't you?
Why is there two ways to say this statement?
One of them is, I think number 2 is a question, because he didn't, he isn't sure if he is from New York or not.
Okay, you said that the vice versa, by the way, but well done. Anyway, you're trying hard. Thank you. As for you're from New York, aren't you? This is a rising tone, right? If we're using in the question tag a rising tone, so I don't know, I don't have a clue. But if we say, you're from New York, aren't you? So I know that you're from New York, and the intonation would go down. I'm just asking you to double check the answer in my mind. We will cover this in detail in this session. Is the way the quality of the voice changes as a speaker communicates. English often uses changes in pitch to communicate meaning, especially attitude. This goes with
Pitch.
pitch
Movement.
Yes. Okay, listen to
Oh,
this.
really? Oh, really? Oh, really?
What's your impression? Listen again and try to tell me your impression.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really?
Based on those three ways of saying, oh, really? In one of them, you felt that the speaker is interested, right? In the other, he wasn't interested. In the third, he was like saying it as a statement. Or are you saying the truth here? The next set is a process where sounds and different words change when they are put together in a speech. The second sound changing to be more similar to the first. For example, wipe bag, not wipe bag, right? Can sound like wipe bag when you say it. What is it?
Assimilation.
Linking.
Yes, assimilation.
Linking.
No, it's assimilation. Like again the word cupboard. Cupboard, right? We assimilate cupboard. Next is when sounds disappear as part of natural connected speech. Examples.
Illusion.
Thank you. Examples include unstressed schwa in words like different or library, or tah and dah sounds in consonant clusters like Christmas and Sunday.
Good. Game. Good game.
elision.
10.
Again.
Let's stop. Let's stop. Next. Village. Next village. Let's stop for lunch in the next village.
So elision means to skip or to drop some sounds. The next one is when two vowel sounds meet and you insert an additional yah, wah, or rah sounds to make the transition between the two.
Linking.
Any other ideas? It's intrusion. So if I have two words, each word ends with a vowel sound, usually I have a consonant sound in the middle. In order to link these two vowel sounds, this is what we call intrusion. Let's listen to the example.
I always. 2 apples. 2 apples. 4 oranges. 4 oranges. I always eat 2 apples and 4 oranges for breakfast.
Okay, as he said, I always. This is the yah sound.
I always.
Sorry.
I always.
As for 2 apples, 2 apples, 2 apples. This is the wah sound. 4 oranges, 4 oranges. This is the rah sound. The last one, of course, it's the linking, is when a vowel sound meets a consonant sound and you drag the final consonant to the initial vowel or vice versa. And let's make it clearer through the example.
It's no problem. It's no problem. Not at all. Not at all. It's no problem. Not at all.
So we have here a combination of vowel, consonant, or consonant vowel, and we link between
It's
them.
no problem. It's no problem. Not at all. Not at all. It's no problem. Not at all.
Okay. Now let's do some practice. Over here, I'm gonna show you a dialogue. I just want you to practice the dialogue and try to guess which words, for example, will have the weak forms, which one will have the schwa sounds. Okay? In this dialogue, please tell me where are the schwa sounds and the weak forms. What time is it? It's 2:45. What time shall we leave? About 4 o'clock, before the rush hour. Can you guess where are the schwa sounds?
Quarter.
Okay. And the weak forms? The unstressed syllables? Let's see here. As you can see here, what time? We are stressing time because it's a content word. Do you remember this expression? Content word, we're stressing on the main word or piece of information in a sentence. So what time is stressed? It's 2:45. Did we say it's a quarter or it's a quarter? Did we link the two sounds and merge them into one sound, or we said them separately?
Yeah, separately.
It's a quarter or it's a quarter?
No, they are
One
joined.
sound. One sound. Sure.
Yes, this
It's
is
a quarter.
Yes, 2, 3. Yes, okay. And here we have at 4 o'clock. At 4, not at. We didn't stress. No, at 4 o'clock. This activity is about assimilation, elision, and contraction. And I want you to think about the words which are assimilated or elide or contracted. The dialogue says, where do you live? In the next village. Me too. How are you going to get home? I'll take a green bus. Number 6. Do you want to join me? What do you think? First of all, the easiest one. Where is the
Do you?
contraction? Yes, what about do you?
Contraction.
Okay. Contract.
Assimilation.
Yes.
Assimilation.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. What about the illusion? The letters that we didn't say, we omitted. We dropped.
Oh.
Okay. N and do you, right?
Do you? Yes.
Okay. What about the contraction? The contraction is like it is, it's. Do you think I can make any contractions here?
No. Where do you live?
No.
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 Okay, what about I will? Can I?
I'll.
Yes. Yes.
I'll.
Can I say it I'll?
Yes.
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 So this is a contraction. And let's see it in more detail. As the master says, yes, where do you live? Do you? Do you? In the next village. In the next village. Drop the tah sound from next. Why? Because in English we don't need to say each and every single letter like in Arabic. Okay, you gonna, you gonna, you going to. While teaching our students, we sometimes stress not to say it you gonna because it's informal, but they need to know it as a piece of information.
Yes.
I'll, this is a contraction as you agreed, and a green bus. A green bus. Why didn't we say green bus? Green bus, because the nah sound and the ba sound are really heavy together. So if we have the ba sound, we change the nah sound into green bus. Do you wanna join me here? Join me. We change it. The nah sound into mah. Join me. As for the linking, do you think there are words here that could be linked together?
Think you have. What did you
think about?
Okay. It's in A and B. In the statements A and B.
Tomorrow.
What did you have for lunch? You have to use.
Okay, this is a contraction, right? Okay, we're after linking. In linking, we can add the yah sound, rah sound, wah sound. If we have two consonants, we can add.
Have and for.
Okay, let's see. A tomato and cheese. A tomato and cheese sandwich. So cheese sandwich, it's one S. An apple and bar of chocolate. Okay. It needs more practice, by the way. For me, before you. I know it's hard. Okay, it's now your turn. Do you think the English teachers only, or the teachers of English only are the people who are concerned with the pronunciation and the features of the speech? Do you think so?
No, I think all teachers who teach in English must know how to pronounce well.
Yes, thank you. Why? Why do we need that?
To give good impression on student.
This is one point. Thank you. And because learners will imitate what you're saying.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
As for question number 2, is it only for teachers to introduce these features, or they have to produce them correctly? In other words, do I, as a teacher, need to introduce the piece of information or to practice it and to have it or master it?
Practice and master.
Why?
Yes. Because
To
the
give a
teacher
good
is the
model.
role model for a student.
Excellent, thank you. The third question is, how can you integrate that into your teaching?
I think it can be integrated through speaking activities.
Training.
Yes.
When the student practice what they learn,
okay,
and role play it.
Thank you. We will have here some practices. Let's start with intonation. Ms. Shadi, I think you were the one who wanted to repeat the things again, right?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Shadi, this is a detailed description for what we have said in the early beginning, okay?
Okay.
You won't miss anything, inshallah. As for intonation, it means that the sound, your sound or voice as a teacher or a person talking always goes up and down, up and down. Our natural speak or speech doesn't go on a flat format, right? Sometimes our sound goes down or up. This is a kind of activity that you can apply with your students. The title of the activity is I'm going to the market. And we have here 4 statements, and we have here the arrows. And this arrow tells you to finish the sentence in a falling sense. And here to use rising and falling in the second one. In the third one, rising, rising, falling. In the last one, 3 rising, and the last one to finish the sentence with falling. And we use the rising with the content words. But because this is a kind of activity, a practice activity, we can't play it like a game. And if we have a statement, we usually finish statements in the falling tone. Let's try together. The first one, I'm going to the market to buy some oranges. This is a rising or a falling tone?
Falling.
Okay. Thank you. As for the second one, I'm going to the market to buy some oranges and bananas.
Rising.
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 Then
Falling.
On the second part.
Rising, then
The second
falling.
part is rising.
Yes.
لا falling then rising.
Oranges.
Rising, then falling.
Yes.
لا rising then falling.
Okay. And here you need to know that if you have a list of things to be mentioned, you usually raise your voice or use the rising tone, and by the end you go to falling.
As stressed in the main word.
Yes, yes, the content word. The third one, I'm going to the market to buy some oranges, bananas, and a pineapple.
Yes, rising then fall.
2 rising,
Rising, then falling.
Yes.
And 1 fall.
Rising, rising, then falling.
The last one fall, yes.
Yes. I'm going to the market to buy some oranges, bananas, a pineapple, and some apples.
3 rising and
3 rising and 1 falling.
3 rising and 1 falling.
Falling at the last one.
Yes, this is a kind of practice on intonation that we can apply with our students, and it's fun. They are going to enjoy playing with their sounds, strength and weakness. We're supposed to discuss those questions, but we have detailed description for them. The first one is, why should we focus on intonation in the classroom?
Because intonation gives us impression if it is a sentence or a question.
Yes.
If I tell someone, you are from America, you are from America, it gives a different meaning.
Yes, thank you. A nice example, by the way. Okay.
It also helps to.
Yes, sure. Yes, miss, go on.
It also helps to make our language naturally and to give the impact that I care about what the others say, not to be indifferent.
I'm really thankful to you because you got the main word here, naturally, to speak like our daily life. Thank you so much. Okay. Can you suggest any techniques which are useful for raising learners' awareness of intonation rather than the one we used?
To try to listen to native speakers.
Okay. And we can like a bat on our hands when we have a rising tone, right? Or clap our hands, one clap. How can we integrate intonation with other aspects of language learning? Because it's not the only thing we need to teach here. And it's usually taught inclusively or inductively. Do you remember?
Yes, it can be learned, for example, if we teach a student how to express their feelings, for example, I feel bored, I feel hungry, I feel happy. It can be like that.
Okay, miss.
With facial gesture.
Yes, Miss Nagra, thank you. Because what you have just said is an activity we're going to apply together today, inshallah. Thank you so much. As for the answer here is, why should we focus on intonation? Because as you said, intonation is the voice rising and falling, going up and down. Intonation exists in every language because it's a natural thing that we use every day. We're talking about intonation aids communication, and as the Mr. said in his two examples, if he didn't clarify his rising and falling intonations, we wouldn't have known or felt what he wanted to deliver to us. Okay. Also, incorrect intonation can result in misunderstandings and listeners losing interest or even taking offense. They don't like it. If you're talking in a flat tone, and we in our real life, we have met people who are talking in flat tones. And as long as those people start speaking, we feel bored and not interested even to say hi to them. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, of course, we wouldn't reach to the...
Like when we narrate a story.
Yes. If we are reading it in a monotone, the listeners would feel bored, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, again, we wouldn't or we won't reach with our learners to speak as a native speakers, but we are after that. As for, can you suggest any awareness raising techniques? Number one, we as teachers can sometimes exaggerate our intonation. Like, I went to the market. If I am stressing on the word or the vocab or the lexes here. And if I am after the verb in the past, I will say I went. You know? So you can exaggerate sometimes for the sake of the learners. Also, you can use the minimal pairs. Have you heard about them? As for minimal pairs, words like cat, fat. This is minimal pair, which students would mentally match the two sounds together. But if we said cat, fat, mate, so the odd word or the odd sound here is mate. Yes. Also, try to vary your intonation. Don't use the flat intonation because, as we said, it's boring and it's useless. Students don't meet that kind of persons every day in their life. Also, this is a kind of activity that we can apply with our students, and it would be really fun to read in pairs and to do like robots. They would like it and they would notice how important is it to add your intonation into your speech. How can we integrate intonation with other aspects of language learning? Yes, and this is an important part here. With grammar, if we're asking WH question, we use the falling tone. Yes.
Listening a question.
Yes, like what do you do today? If we're using yes no questions, we use the rising. Are you gonna watch the game? As for statements, we already practiced this part. We use the falling. I leave by tomorrow. As for the question tags, if we're chatting or talking together, we would use the falling tone. You're from New York, aren't you? Or to check the information, we would use the rising tone. You're from New York, aren't you? Of course, with speaking and showing attitude. In dialogues, we can practice intonation through asking the students to show interest or to be friendly while they are talking. And they can play the vice versa to show that they are not interested or they are unfriendly. Also, we can practice intonation through lists of words, as we said, oranges, bananas, and pineapple. And if we're after the grammatical points, we would focus on the key verbs. Okay. Thank you. Okay. As for the activities, the first one is word tennis. And in this activity, the students are supposed to use words having the same sounds, like boat, and the other one or the other pair would say seat, for example. And if he missed the vowel sound or the syllable that we're after, the first one would be the winner. Like, who would like to play it with me, like a model? Would like to share? Please raise your hands.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Zainab. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, let's play it together, like a model.
Okay.
Fat.
Cat.
Bay.
May.
Room.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Room.
Whom.
Thank you so much. So we would go like this. If I missed something, she would be the winner. And this is reviewing our vocab. We can do it in this way. We can review the intonation, the syllables, or in what occasions do we use this activity? We use it for same sounds, for rhyming pairs, as we did together. Thanks a lot, Ms. Zainab. And it can be
Not
used.
at all.
to review vocab, focusing on the pronunciation of vowel sounds.
Yes.
Our next activity is interested or not. And you as a teacher, you can play it first and model it, in which you will show the students, as Mr. Muhammad did with us. At one time while he was interested, and the other time while he was uninterested. I'll tell you the first one, and I want you to try to share with me and say it with me. I saw a good film last night. Oh,
What was it called?
thank you. Okay, so you're interested or not?
Interested.
Thank you. Okay, who said interested? Mr. Muhammad?
Mr. Muhammad Eid Ayman.
Yes, Mr. Muhammad, please tell us number 2. The first one, as if you are interested, and the second, be uninterested.
I'm reading a really good book at that moment.
Okay, nice. Okay, B, not interested.
What's it about?
Okay, thank you. Who would like to share, guys? Who would like to try? Miss Shadia? Okay, Miss Hanan Fawzi? Or okay, Miss Shadia, go on. Number 3.
Would you like to go for a coffee after the lesson? Would you like to go for a coffee after the lesson?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, I used to play tennis a lot when I was younger. Oh, really?
Thank you. Okay. Miss Hanan, please tell us, as for
Really?
Miss Shadia, when was she interested? Can you guess? Okay, Miss Shadia.
When the tone, the intonation is rising.
Okay, I mean, was it in the sentence letter number A or B? Okay, Miss Shadia, please repeat what you have just said.
Yes. Would you like to go for a coffee after the lesson?
Okay.
Would you like to go for a coffee after the lesson?
Thank you. So, Miss Hanan, was she interested or not?
Not.
Okay, Miss Shadia, were you interested or not?
Interested.
Okay, because she's stressed on what? Guys, what
Coffee.
was... Yes,
Coffee.
thank you. So we thought that she's interested from this word or this syllable. Okay, as for Miss Hanan, where was she interested? Do you remember? Okay, Miss Hanan, would you please repeat what you have just said?
I used to play tennis a lot when I was younger. Oh, really?
Okay, thank you. Where was she interested, in A or B?
E.
Okay.
B. B.
Okay, let's make it harder. Can any one of you try to read it as a robot? Any volunteers? Okay, I have 2 hands. Really? Okay, who would like to start? You choose any statement that you like and say it in a robotic way. Come on. Shall I pick a name? I think this is Mrs. Han. Are you ready?
مين؟
Miss Han, yes, you are.
تمام ماشي هحاول I'll try. Eyes.
Yes, go on. I like this start. Yes, go on.
I saw a good film last night.
Thank you. If we are allowed to clap, I clap my hand for you. Thank you so much. Nice one. Okay, and as you heard here, she was using a monotone and we weren't interested, right? This kind of activity which is interested or not. We can use it to teach students
Interesting.
stress and intonation, and to raise students' awareness of how intonation impacts meaning in role plays. Okay? The third activity is called Limerick. And Limerick means it's a kind of a poem. I encourage the students to write similar ones using the words I provide to them. The first two lines would be with the same sound. The second two lines with another sound. The final line with a third sound. Or we can use the first sound again. Like here, there was a young lady from Niger who smiled as she rode a tiger. They returned from the ride with the lady inside and the smile on the face of the tiger. We use such activity to teach students rhythm, connect speech, stress, weak forms, individual sounds. Okay, let's try together. I'll give you a word and I want you to tell me two sentences ending with the same sound. Okay? Are you ready? Only two sentences. Ready, guys?
Okay.
Miss Hanan only? The only interested one?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to make two sentences using the sound of the word tree. Use tree in the first one and get another word having the same sound in the second one.
I can see a tree. Let's play free.
Yes.
Or
I sit.
Yes, Mr.
I sit under a tree when I am free.
Muhammad, would you please
Yes.
raise your voice?
I sit under a tree when I am free.
Yes. Okay.
I sit under the tree when I am free. ده مستر محمد قالها.
Yes, nice one. And you, Miss Hanan?
I sit under a tree. Come, do you agree?
Okay, nice one. And here we have another example, but you over exceeded it. Well done. Okay. As for songs, we all and all ages like songs, but the point here is you can play the music and ask the students to guess or order the lyrics of the song. Okay? Let's play together. I'll play the music and you try to guess the lyrics first because it's a famous one. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Did you know it?
فاكرة دي أغنية
Yes.
في الكيجي.
Yes. Okay, I'll show it to you again.
Fly the sky, fly the sky. حاجة زي كده.
Do you remember this song? Do you know it? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. Do you know it? Okay, this is an example in which you can either play the music because our students have a good musical memory than us. You can play the music for them and ask them to write down the lyrics, or you give them the lyrics unscrambled and you ask them to listen and order them. And when do we use such an activity? we use it to focus on the rhythm, connected speech, weak forms, and stress. As for this one, this activity is called countries, in which we have here table with words this two O's. The big O stands for stressed syllable, and here the stressed syllable is the first one in the word. Here, the second column, where is the stressed syllable?
Second.
The second.
Okay, and here we have a word with three vowels,
Yes,
three
it's the
syllables.
middle.
Yes,
The middle one.
The
yes.
middle.
The middle one.
The
Okay,
middle.
you got the idea. Please try to pick any country and tell me it goes with which column. As for
I think Egypt is the third column.
Egypt, okay, Egypt, Egypt,
Second.
Egypt.
First.
Yes, of course, Egypt, rising, falling, the first one.
First.
Okay, what about Germany?
I think the first.
Okay,
Germany. Germany.
pick one more, please, and tell me.
India. India.
Okay,
In
yes,
First.
India.
okay,
India.
First.
India.
yes, thank you. You got the point or the idea. Okay, and we use such an activity with a range of vocab course and to order the pronunciation of past tense regular verbs that end with ta, da, and id sounds. And we can put them in in a table of three columns. Okay, and I'll tell you the verb and you tell me it goes with ta, da, or id. Okay, let's play together. A verb like covered. It goes with
Id.
covered.
Covered. Ed.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yes, covered. Yes. A
Covered.
verb like enjoyed. Enjoyed.
Id.
Enjoyed. It. This is it.
Ed.
Okay.
Okay.
Talk.
If it's finished with D or T sound, it's ed.
Yes. Enjoyed. Yes. Thank you. Talk. Talked.
Ta.
T sound.
Yes.
T
So
sound.
we can
And this
do the
with
same
ka. Yes.
with our students because this is a
Yes.
confusing point for them. After that, we have listen and underline, and this is widely used in primary stage. When we read a sentence like it was the biggest and tell me either it would be the first or the second word that would we underline. It was the biggest ship I have ever seen. The first or the second?
Second.
Second.
Okay.
The second.
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 Yes. Okay, number 2. They went to buy beans.
First.
First one.
The
Okay,
first.
really easy,
First.
but we have in the advanced level curriculum, because some of us in language schools, we have the words that are easily confused. We can use such an activity with them. So we use it with similar sounds and minimal pairs. It's now your turn. Evaluating and adapting activities. Based on all the 6 activities that we have gone through, have you ever tried any of them?
Listen and underline.
Okay, you have tried it. Is
Yes.
there any activity that you would like to practice with your learners?
Yes, I think songs is will be very good way.
Okay. Do you think there is a certain activity that you felt that it wouldn't be suitable for your learners?
No, I think all of them will be suitable.
Okay, thank you. Could any of these activities be adapted for your context? Adapted means to be modified or changed to fit your own classroom. Do you think you can add anything to those activities?
Yes, most of them can be fitted for our context.
Okay. Do your textbooks have any of these activities?
Yes, for primary 5, listen and underline the word that you hear.
And I think in primary 6 too. They have
Yes.
to listen to statements. Thank you. Integrating activities. Yes, I like this part. Okay, we have here some adaptations. Other set of activities that we can use. The first one is snap. And the snap means, and it has here two ways. Either you give the students a set of cards, each one would have some set, and he has to turn it upside down. And if the two cards that he has turned it upside down at the same time have the same sound, he wins them. And if they don't, he would flip them back again and try one more time. And the winner is the one with the biggest number of cards. And we have here a website that has many resources for you that you can use with your learners. This is the website that we can use. It has many resources that you can use, and it's totally free. You just need to log in and use the material that they have and the resources. We have even for the British curriculum, the Arabic, the Egyptian curriculum, and so on. You can serve it. I'll send you the link after the session, inshallah.
Okay, thanks a lot.
That's good.
It will show you how to apply this snap for activity. The second activity is called no sound, how do I feel? And I think Miss Hanan was the one who mentioned this activity. That you give the students a certain sentence or a statement and you ask them to say it in with different feelings. If you are happy, sad, angry, hungry, cold, thirsty, like this one. I have read many books. Can any of you say it with different feelings? And we are to guess how did he feel? Miss Hanan, would you like?
Yes.
Okay, please. Can you read it, please?
Any sentence?
I have read many books. This one. Can you see it or not?
Yes.
Okay.
I have read many books. I have read many books. I have read many books. I have read many books.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So, how did she feel? Can you tell us?
When she said, I have read many books, she is annoyed. She is unhappy. When she said, I have read many books, she told us that she has read many books.
Like she's stating a fact or something.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you both. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, Birmanism is similar to the first one, which is a snap, but here all the cards are put upside down on the table, and the students are to flip them and match the two sounds together. And we have here another website. I'll send you the link after the session, inshallah, about how to play this game online. Students would feel it's fun for them. If you want to try it with me, it will be fun too. It's this one, Bilmanism, and let's play. You choose anything. The point here is you have to memorize, because it's a memory game. You have to memorize the names of the fruit, for example, and their pictures. This is for kids, but for elders, you can use the two things as vowel syllables, like this one. This is orange, orange. Okay, got the idea? After that, we have the activity which is called No Sounds Listening Comprehension. Okay, in this part, you are to give the students a statement, a text, a short text, and they are to choose one sentence from the whole text. And this sentence, you can tell them, choose the stressed word. We're talking about no sounds listening comprehension. In this activity, the student, you as a teacher, you will tell them like choose the sentence with the following tone, for example, and to stay silent, not to tell anyone about this sentence. All what he needs to do a certain sign, like nodding, for example, or raising a hand, and all the class are to guess, or all the group are to guess what's the sentence that has the following intonation and their colleague has it chosen. As for bingo, of course, we all know this game, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Okay, we can play it like this. I'll send you the link in which you can download many bingos or similar sheets. Okay, as you can see here, if and you know the rule of the game, if the learner got 3 words that are on the same line, either horizontally or vertically or like a cross, he wins the game. Can any of you try to get 2 words that have the same sound here?
Bad head.
Okay. Yes, miss?
Head and head. Head and head.
Okay.
Keep and peep.
Okay. So we got 2, right? The tricky thing is, how would you get the third one on the same line? You know? So it's challenging for them to some extent. And this one is really fun. How many words can you hear? Because as we covered in today's session, we have words that have sounds that aren't pronounced, like in the emission part. Do you remember?
Yes.
So you can either to read the sentence and the students are to write it and count the words, or only count the words and write the number in their notes, and after they finish, they peer check with their peers. How many words did the message or read? If you're not strong enough in your pronunciation, you can even use audio tracks, which are available everywhere. Past tense verbs, of course, we have applied this part when we talked about the tah, dah, and it sounds. You remember this activity?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. As for the telephone numbers, in the primary stage, they have like this puzzle. When you have a word with a certain number or a sentence with some numbers, and they have to transform it into a word. Like when I say 4, 2, 0, it would be
Bit.
But
Bet.
okay.
bit.
Yes, you can even change it into a meaningful sentence, or you can have some from the internet that match your curriculum or course book. But the question here is, what's your telephone number? Because based on this sentence, you can number, for example, what's for 1, the apostrophe is S for 2, my 3, telephone 4, and so on. Finally, we have here the Phonemic Chart. And I don't know if you know him or not, the talented Adrian Underhill. He was one of the people who is talking and teaching and describing how to use this phonemic chart with your students. He has many sessions online that you can use. I'll send you the link for this session because it's really fruitful and useful for us as teachers. And we as teachers, we don't need to teach the students all the phonemic chart all at once. No, we can divide it into parts based on the content that you have, if you're interested. And if the content itself matches those phonemic symbols. Okay? And as we said in our first meeting, that we need to reflect. Do you remember this word? Reflect?
Yes.
Reflect, yes. To think
Benefit
about,
or
yes. Thank you. Thank you
the
so much.
benefit.
What we gain.
Yes, thank you so much. This will be your assignment for today, inshallah, to tell me your impressions about this session and this module. Of course, this picture is taken from our PDF, the resource book. So we can look at it and read it carefully and think about how. This is how to apply. And I want from you all as a group to think together on our WhatsApp group about the 6 activities that we have talked about today. I'll write their names again on the WhatsApp group and ask you to think how to apply them. What are the introductory questions that you would use with your students to help them use such activities? And you need to tell me how many students are there in your own classes, and why will you use such an activity, and the resources that you may use or need, like an online resource or an audio track, or based on their course book. And when will you try it?
Well,
In the early beginning of this term, the second
why
term, or you need to introduce and make a lead-in for them before going into the practice part? And your anticipated results, do you think this kind of activity or activities would be useful
the
for
previous
them or not? This is the end of today's session. I hope that you enjoyed it the same as I did. And I hope that you can apply it in your own classes, and we will see that and discuss it on the WhatsApp group, inshallah, together. Because we need to make a good impact with our students, inshallah.
Inshallah.